Hey guys! So today I'm going to show you guys how to cut up a t-shirt where there's a big image on the front or the back and you don't want it there anymore. So for this t-shirt, this was what I had originally, and there was the big logo right on the front, and I actually cut that out, turned the t-shirt around so that it became a backless top. And so for these kind of unisex t-shirts, the front and the back is basically the same, so that's why I was able to just turn the t-shirt around and just pretend the front is the back. And because this is a medium, kind of bigger, oversized t-shirt, I had to figure out a way to kind of scrunch the back. Because it was backless, that it was just basically falling off my shoulders, I had to find a way to secure it together. So with this technique, it's really great for any t-shirts where you accidentally cut the neckline too wide or too big and it's just falling off your shoulders. For the front, this is a really great technique to transform the front of your shirt into something interesting but still conservative. I know some of you guys are concerned with some of the cut up t-shirts that are too cut up, so here's a good option for you. So I'll show you guys what this looks like. It's really simple. Basically just take a hole, take a string and scrunch it together, and it becomes this V-neck. So first of all, we're going to start off by cutting off the neckline. I'm going to do one finger, 1/2 inch off both sides, and then go just underneath the collar because I don't want it to be too big. Next, I'm going to cut off the sleeves by cutting on the inside of the seam. So here's what we have now. It's quite big and boxy and oversized. You can make sure you stretch out the holes too after you cut them so that the fabric rolls on the edges. But now the next step is to think about the front graphic, and I'm going to get rid of it by cutting it out. So here I've put the t-shirt on backwards now, and here's what the sleeves look like at the moment. Even though I cut a straight line, once I stretched it out, it actually ended up curving into a round bottom. So obviously this is way too big, it's gonna just fall off my shoulders. So what we're gonna do is add a piece of fabric to tie it together. So to get some string, I'm just gonna cut off this threaded part of the sleeve. And you'll wanna make sure that the sleeve has no edge here and just one edge on one side, so it doesn't fall apart on both sides. So here I'm just going to cut maybe a finger's width of a piece of fabric. Trying to keep it even, but it doesn't matter too much how rough it is. And then since this only has one seam, you'll basically, if you just tug on it, it'll come apart. So there is one string. Stretch it out, it becomes really long, and so that's one option. And the other option is to cut a really wide strip of fabric. So here I'm going to take as much width as I can and cut so it's perpendicular to this line. So I don't want it to be fat on one side, skinny on one side, so I'm going to try to keep it even here. Since it's a thicker strip, you won't be able to tug it apart, you'll just have to cut it off. So in this step, we had to make some holes. So you want to make it even on both sides, and you don't want it too close to the edge to risk ripping. And you want to make the hole as small as possible because they become quite big. So now we need to thread the string through the holes and tie a knot. If you can stick it through the hole, that's fine, but I find it's easiest if you just use a pin with a head on the end. Then you can just stick it through this part and thread it through. How you tie the back of the t-shirt is really up to your personal preference. You could tie it with 2 strings on the back and just hide the knots on the inside, or you could do it with 1 string going across, or you could tie a bow, so the bow could be on the side or on the middle, however you like it. Or if you want to be really creative, you can start using different colored fabric. If you have contrasting string, that would look really cool. Or even if you have different materials like ribbon or sash. So here's what it looks like now from the front. It's not falling off my shoulders anymore. And from the back, as you can see, it's secured and not oversized anymore. So now that we've dealt with the back and kind of scrunched it together, we had to think about how it makes the front look. So because it's all scrunched up, it's creating all this extra fabric here in the front of my shirt. And so it's kind of like this turtlenecky look. So I really need to cut a new neckline, so I want to kind of start from the back here and do kind of like a straight line here to get rid of this extra fabric and do a deeper collar and thinner straps on the side. So I'm going to cut the collar wider by 1 finger's width on each side just to see how that looks. So I'm going to cut down to just try to do a straight line into the knot. And then I'm going to flip it over and cut the front. And it's a little bit hard because the fabric's all bulky and it's not laid out flat. So you just kind of have to eyeball it and be careful. Just go slow and just try to make sure both sides are even so that you have an even rounded neck. Even with cutting off the extra fabric, there's still this extra fabric here that has nowhere to go. So if you don't mind, you can always leave it. Or you can always go back and cut thinner straps and just try to round it out and see how that affects it. But I'm going to show you guys how to actually just cut a hole right here and then scrunch this up. So kind of create this V-neck look. Once I've kind of positioned it while I'm wearing it, I'm just going to grab my pair of scissors and cut the hole right while I'm wearing it. I'm going to take the string that I prepared before and so again using my little needle, poke it through and pull it out. There you go, so here is the front with this little knot, the V-neck. So there you go, here's the front, done with a V-neck and a tie here to scrunch it up. And the back with backless top and a piece of string to tie together. In my last few videos, I've actually started doing something new where I'm writing a blog post to go with the YouTube video. If you haven't noticed, you can check it out on my website, salina-cu.com. So for this YouTube video, I actually did a step-by-step instructions to go with this tutorial with pictures and numbered instructions. So in case when you're actually cutting the t-shirt, you don't want to keep pausing and playing the video, you can check out my blog for the written tutorial to follow as well. So hopefully those two can help you make the process easier. So let me know if that's helpful for you, if you're interested in that. So check it out. Link is in the description box. And I also want to get you guys' feedback on blogging in the comments below. So do you guys read blogs, and which blogs do you read, and what topics do you like, and why do you like those blogs? Do you check every day, and what system are you using to actually check these blogs? So if there's a new post on certain blogs, like how do you know when there's new posts to read? Because I'm actually thinking about blogging more and expanding the kind of videos that I make on YouTube to encompass like fashion and beauty as well. So I'm not sure if you guys would be interested in watching those or reading those kind of things. So I'm really interested to know your feedback on those. I'm thinking about doing more fashion, so outfits of the day and shopping hauls and beauty, maybe beauty product reviews and how it's worked out for me. Please let me know. Okay, thanks for watching you guys. Bye!